Welcome to Dental Business RX. Practice success in 30 minutes or less.
Thank you for calling ABC Dental.
News about AI and how it's going to change the way you, me, and everyone else is going to do business is everywhere. From financial markets to diagnostic tools to marketing, well, just about everything. But beyond the excitement, worries, or hype, what's actually happening? What AI tools, especially with relation to marketing or practice management, are actually useful now or soon to become useful, and which appear to be more hype than anything else? And how is AI changing or affecting marketing and new patient acquisition? For this week's episode, we're going to do a deep dive on these questions and more. And my plan, rather than just a general, informational update, is to focus on things you can leverage or do right now using these tools to improve outcomes in your practice. My name is Jeff Bloomberg, and I'm your host. And I'm joined this week by Dan Brown. Now, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know Dan. Dan is the COO of Bloomberg Digital and a senior seminar speaker here at MGE. Bloomberg Digital is the premier dental marketing agency, or digital marketing agency, rather, in dentistry. They know how to get results, and while, yes, it shares my last name, I am not a principal of the company, although I highly recommend them. And I'm super happy to have Dan on. He's a leading authority on digital marketing in the dental space, and every time we talk, I learn something new. Like me, Dan was an early adopter of AI solutions and kind of saw the writing on the wall as to the potential effects, good and bad, that it would have on dental marketing and the administration of a dental practice. He's really specialized in these things, while I, on the other hand, have been more focused on how to use AI to troll my brother-in-law. Just kidding, but not really. My focus with AI has been more on analytics and using it to streamline workflows. Anyway, if you're a dentist looking to fix or improve your marketing, Dan's experience and knowledge with this is super relevant, and I'm truly excited about this episode and the potential it has to help you with your practice. And with that, let's bring Dan on. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
Anyway, AI. It's crazy how people are just losing their minds over this.
Yeah, I find some people are, and I find some people are still, I don't know if I really want to use AI. I don't know if I like the idea. It scares me. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I mean,
I have to say, I love AI, because when they eventually take over, we're okay. We love AI.
We love AI. Yeah. Our whole family loves AI. My bank loves AI.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, I know that it's been affecting financial markets pretty heavily the last few weeks, especially with softwares. People are with these current softwares, everybody's buying cloud-based stuff.
Yep.
Financial markets are a bit concerned that AI is going to deploy software that you can just customize in a matter of minutes, and you won't need this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Which, maybe that's
actually happening.
Well, okay, so see, this is why we have you on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with that, why don't we just jump into it?
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so first question. I know we're going to stay away from the diagnostic stuff, like the stuff that reads X-rays or whatever. I'll leave that to clinicians, right? You got to determine whether that helps you or not. I've heard promising things about it.
Yeah.
But here's the first question. Could you give me a brief rundown of what's out there? Like generally, you don't have to get into brands, right? For consumption right now, for practice management or marketing help in the dental space, and sort of your opinion on each of these, like where they're at.
Sure. So I think, one of the first things that anybody should start to do right now, if they're not already, they should start jumping into using AI, playing around with AI. And what would that mean? You get a account with OpenAI for chat or with Gemini. You're going to start to build a profile, play around with it. There are little courses you can do to just kind of learn it, but it's important.
And this is part of the AI itself.
This is part of it, yeah, where you're learning what AI is, what it can do, what are some good use cases. I do suggest doing a basic little course on it. There's a bunch of them out there. You'll see them if you start punching around like what course to learn AI. All of a sudden your feed is going to be absolutely slammed with a bunch of things. Find something that's a few bucks and just learn.
Okay.
I think it's got to be a subject that becomes less scary as soon as possible, because it's going to be so dominant. It already is very dominant in a lot of fields, but it's going to be so dominant in the next coming years that you don't want to be behind that wave too much.
Right. I think, what's funny is it sort of reminds me of the mid to late 90s in a way. I mean, for some people to go, I wasn't born then yet, but I was. Anyway, you were.
Yeah.
But so people's feelings on the internet. Like I was the first thing I started using was like CompuServe and then America Online. I think my original email address was like Jeff at America. It was something ridiculous that you can't get now.
Right.
And then you had the craziness towards the late 90s with all the different internet companies. And there was a lot of people saying, oh, the internet's going to do this or that. Never did any of that.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of things nobody predicted it would do.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. I would say there's definitely that, but I would say what's happened in the last 2 months makes that fantastically different than that period of time. Specifically, and we don't need to go into the weeds on this, but OpenClaw is, was released. OpenClaw is what's called agentic or agentive AI, where, what an AI agent is instead of just giving an AI prompt and then giving it the next prompt and stuff, you have a series of prompts and you can integrate with your software, you can integrate with your Gmail, you can integrate with your whatever your platform is in your workplace.
And maybe we should just, because like part of this, so I'm like, you guys still there?
Yeah.
I don't want to get too technical, but if we could.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've got the basic stuff, like most people have heard of or have used ChatGPT.
Sure.
So that thing you type when you ask them, what's a good movie, that's a prompt.
That's right.
Obviously, they can become more complex.
That's right.
Design this, you're this, blah, 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 blah.
That's right.
Now, you're talking about agents.
AI agents.
Yeah. And can you give a little bit of a brief primer on those?
Yeah, and important to know, even if you have no intention of moving into AI, it's just important to know what this is. An AI agent is a preset series of instructions to do step one. And then based on the results that you get from step one, you either go to A, B, or C, or D, or E. And then once it goes to B, then it has a series of instructions. And then based on the results in B, you're going to go to the next series of choices. And this all happens in seconds.
Right.
But it allows you to do a series of things in sequence that is your usual normal procedure of how you do that. And it does it repetitively, perfectly every single time, provided you give those parameters.
And can you give an example of using one of these?
So a perfect example is the AI receptionist.
Okay.
So that's a service that we put in place with Bloomberg Digital, which 80% of calls that come in and hit a voicemail in a practice are hung up on. That's just a proven study.
Right.
So somebody calls a practice after hours on the weekends, or say it's during a time that's either heavy or it's a lunch. Sometimes practices close down for lunch.
Sure.
So when they hit a voicemail, 80% of phone calls will be hung up on.
Right.
So an AI receptionist, and anybody in practice has probably seen, oh, you need an AI receptionist. Well, we created one that's based off the principles in alignment with MGE and DDS Success, and of course Bloomberg Digital, of how to create exact instructions under what circumstances that come in, and then what to do based off that.
Oh, well.
If it's an existing patient, it does this. If it's an emergency, it does this. If it's a real medical emergency, it does this.
Tells them call 911.
Call 911, and then it alerts relative people in the practice accordingly. And so, it sends an email, it does this, it can route the call, it can send it to the doctor's phone.
Wow.
So based off of a series of different variables, it's doing something different. So it's not just answer the call and say something along this. I mean, I can give you an example and probably blow you and the listeners away. It's just crazy. I have a sample that we could even call right now.
Like a sample phone call?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
We'll call them right now. So this is...
I wonder if they'll be able to hear. Let's see if we can do it. Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it. I'll just be any old patient.
Okay.
Hello, you've reached Bright Smiles Dental in Clearwater, Florida. I'm Lindsay, the AI receptionist. How can I help you?
Yeah, I just broke a tooth and I don't know what to do. I know it's after hours, but oh my gosh, I'm in so much pain and I just need to see if I can get in at the next possible.
Oh no, I'm really sorry you're in so much pain. Let's get this marked as urgent for our team. First, can I get your first name, please?
It's Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. And your last name?
Brown, like the color brown.
Got it, Daniel Brown. What's the best phone number for our team to reach you? If you'd like me to use the number you're calling from, just let me know.
Yeah, the number I'm calling from is perfect.
No problem. I'll use the number you're calling from today. On a scale of 1 to 10, how severe is your pain right now?
You know, I'm not really good with pain, so I'm sitting at about a good solid 8 right now.
That sounds really tough, Daniel. How long have you been dealing with this pain?
Well, just since last night, actually, you know, I bit down on something. I guess there was something hard, and it just went. I heard a crunch. I heard something kind of snap. The tooth had been in pain a little bit before that, just a little sore for about 2 months. But boy, something went wrong last night.
Oof, that sounds rough. Which tooth or area is hurting the most right now?
So it would be in the right hand side, in the top towards the back.
Thanks for sharing that, Daniel. Has anything helped or made the pain worse since it started?
You know, I had a cold drink, and boy, that just sent me into, like, you know, the stratosphere. I almost passed out. It was so I can't have anything cold in my mouth right now.
That sounds absolutely miserable. I'm really sorry you're going through this. I'll mark your case as urgent and let our team know you need the next available appointment. What day would you prefer to come in, or do you just want the soonest possible?
Soon as possible. You know, I'll make tomorrow morning available. It's important to me. I'm actually in town. I'm here to go to my sister's wedding on Sunday. So I'm really hoping to get the soonest.
Absolutely, Daniel. I'll note that you're hoping for the soonest possible, tomorrow morning if available, since you've got your sister's wedding coming up. Our scheduling team will see this as urgent and reach out as soon as possible to confirm your appointment. Is there anything else I can do for you right now?
Well, you know, on the subject of my sister's wedding, I heard there's things you can do to make your teeth whiter. I'm gonna be, you know, kind of in the wedding party, so I don't know if you guys have such stuff. I've heard of such stuff.
Oh, totally get wanting to look your best for the big day. Yes, we do offer teeth whitening here at Bright Smiles Dental. Our team can talk with you about options when they call you back, Labs. Especially since you're already coming in for that urgent tooth issue. I'll make a note so they know it's important to you. Anything else on your mind before I pass this along?
No, that's good. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Daniel. I hope you feel better soon. Our team will call you back as soon as possible to get you in. Thanks for calling Bright Smiles Dental. Hang in there. And good luck at your sister's wedding.
Good. So I've ended that phone call.
Now, if I could just comment,
Yeah.
2 things I really like about this. One, definitely a lot further along than I thought this stuff was as far as recognizing what your issues were, right? And 2, I like that the way you're deploying it, because, you know, I've seen other companies deploy AI receptionists with the idea of full-on replacing your receptionist. You guys are deploying more on the lines of you guys just can't get to a call, which is not ideal, but after hours, on the weekends, and that stuff drives me nuts when I look at a client's Google pay-per-click dashboard and I see they got 15 calls over the weekend, or they close at 4 and there were 10 calls between 4 and 8 p.m.
Yep,
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
And if you can see what's happening on my phone right now, it's calling me because I'm the designated contact as the office manager to let me know.
Because this is a sample.
Yeah, and here it goes.
Hello, Dan Brown. I am Lindsay, your AI receptionist. We have an emergency patient, Daniel Brown. They have broken tooth on right upper back. Severe pain 810, worsened by cold, urgent care needed. Please call them back at 1.
Yeah,
We'll beat that out.
And then this text just came through on my phone.
And is this for you as the office manager?
me as the
or
office manager,
Okay, so
or-
patient name, Daniel Brown, phone number, not going to say it. Reason, broken tooth on right upper back, severe pain, 8 to 10, worse my cold, urgent care needed, please call back ASAP. Wow.
And then I also just got an email, and then it's going to have all the data about everything, including...
New patient call alert. Wow, look at that. Service requested, how they heard about us, appointment time, emergency, call date. Wow. That's intense.
Yeah, and so it's gonna have, you know, so that right there, like you said, overflow. We call that overflow if the you know if the team's just busy.
Yeah.
Lunchtime coverage or meal coverage, and the brilliance about that, if what you just said about Google pay per click and
Yeah, yeah.
and
Well, I
Google
see it. I
Ads,
see there are a bunch of calls missed, and to that end, And a lot of listeners know Rushi Trivedi. They have 2 practices up in New York. But Rushi, one of the things he did is he looked at how many calls he was missing after hours, and he hired people to do this. Now, this was years ago before the AI was possible.
Yeah.
But people are probably missing new patients because they don't have something like this.
Yeah, and then it's also when if you've got an ads company, they're probably turning off ads during your non-working times.
Right.
Yet during your non-working times, the ad costs
They're cheaper.
like a fourth.
So how much am I paying? Let's say I'm advertising in a pretty competitive market, and I'm advertising during my hours. How much am I paying per click?
Well, for like a common one, like dentist near me, it's going to be $20 to $30 depending on the area.
What about like implants?
Implants, $60 to $90 per
During
click.
my office hours?
During
For a
office-
click?
Per click.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to go down to like $15 or
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
So now we're advertising more heavily in the evening and weekend times, and we're using the AI receptionist. AI receptionist also goes really wrong when you don't say it's an AI receptionist.
Yeah, people get upset.
People get upset because they can see, wait a minute, what's this slight delay here? And there was a slight mispronunciation. It's not perfect, but we use the top of the top when it comes to it's text to voice, and there are different companies like 11 Labs and SynthFlow, and we use the best of the best on that, and then we create what's called a logic center, a knowledge center. We program in all the parameters, DDS, success, and MGE. So it's acting like the most perfectly trained receptionist. And she's pretty friendly. She's appropriate.
Right.
She's all that. And then it does the alerting and the logging. We can tie it in with their software.
I mean, that's better than an answering service.
Oh, yeah.
Because it'll be, hello, we're Dr. So-and-so's office.
Yeah.
The office is closed. Do you need us to reach out to the doctor? There's no data.
Yeah.
So-and-so called, they have an emergency. Are they a new patient? Are they a patient of record? Most answering services don't do this.
Well, in the last 4 years, we've worked with, in tandem, a few different answering services for after-hour stuff and for coverage. Because, you can lose your receptionist for 2 weeks. And that was unexpected and stuff. So, we try to find, answering services. To get one that's consistent, appropriate, quick, never less than $4,000 a month.
Wow.
Never less than $4,000 a month. And even the one that we finally said, okay, this one we could refer to our clients without it coming back on us. Even the one for $4,000 a month, something happened in the company, things went weird and down, and then the live operators that they had were, just not good. And this is 33 languages. So if you start speaking another language, it just flips to that language.
Wow.
And, it's dead cheap.
So answering services, if you own an answering service, not a good business to be in right now.
Probably not. But listen, there's still going to be people who I insist on having a live person.
After hours, unless it was an actual, I'm just giving you my opinion.
Yeah.
If I had an employee
Sure.
who could actually have access to the software and schedule patients,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But no, this was much better than an answering service.
Yeah.
Because it also winnows out, is this worth action? Because what if it's somebody calling up, yeah, I'm in really bad pain. Are you a patient? No, I just need some drugs. You know what I mean? Because that happens.
Yeah.
And they don't want to come in. They just want to get a prescription of the phone, which you're not going to do.
That's right. That's right.
No, that's really cool.
So that's an AI agent. And so now what's happening is we actually do have one client that lost a receptionist, and it was a shocker. It was a surprise.
Left unexpectedly.
Yeah, left unexpected. And for a week and a half.
That covered
it.
Wow.
Brilliantly. Routed the calls to them and screened things. And so that an AI agent now is, what do you do after that? And our next stage of this is outbound. So we're going to have it to where it's sending out texts, emails, and phone calls to get the people on the phone to transfer to the dental practice, because who has time to put 3 staff on the phone to call 4,000 patients?
That's the big problem, because when you start looking at the math, especially when you look at reactivation, this is really cool. Because like if I have 5,000 charts, like I analyzed a practice and actually went over it on the podcast a few months ago. Practice had, I forget the exact numbers, but roughly it was 5,000 charts and 700 people had a next visit date.
Right.
Okay, and this was in the last 2 years, 5,000 charts, or 3 years. It was not long term. This wasn't like from 1987, right? So the problem is, if I put somebody on the phone, how many calls are they going to make a day? If they're really good, they'll make 100.
120, like a superstar, but then they're not reaching a lot of
This
people.
is a salesperson
Yeah,
doing that. The average person is going to maybe do 50 to 70.
That's right.
And if they're reaching people, you expect them to be on the phone more, but the amount of time it would take them to contact the 5,000 people is going to be months.
Right.
So yeah, if you could deploy this towards calling 5,000 people at once,
Yep.
you know, or 4,300 in this
Yep.
example,
Yep.
that's a whole different beast.
Yeah, and we're going to be scaling it so that it can, because you're going to get the person to get on the phone and they're going to say, I am the, AI representative for ABC Family Dentistry. Been trying to reach you. I've got Megan right here. She's standing by. Can I transfer the call? Or I'm going to transfer the call. And then it bops it over to somebody in the office.
So this would be done during normal hours.
Normal
more or less.
hours. And then we have different programs that we're going to run for different things. Again, sometimes an office just doesn't have these resources. So we're going to take it as far as we can take it and do reactivation and messages. And then
Use it or lose it towards
Yeah,
the end of the
that's-
year.
that's
Use
right.
your benefits. This is cool.
Yeah.
This is cool. All right, so that's a how do we get
AI
into this?
agent.
So AI agent. All right, and we'll put a link to your email address and a link to your guys' site
Yeah.
at the end on the podcast or the episode webpage. If guys have questions, they can ask you about this
Perfect.
stuff. Yeah, because this is being used now.
right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And again, I do like the methodology you're using.
Yep.
Where it's not let's not replace a human.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But well, you can in a pinch. But that's where and I know I'm saying this a lot, but this is where I see the selling point because people already have staff problems. So it's like, oh, just get a receptionist. It's AI. But I don't know. I disagree.
Yep.
I think it should be used when you don't have a human.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're not there yet where we actually have, seamless, smooth.
Well, that's routing to a human.
Yeah.
It's taking a call and routing it to the office
That's
manager,
right.
right? So yeah, this is great. This is great.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So that's one, you asked for like what's real world things
Yeah.
that you could do. We're using AI to take reviews from Google, Yelp, BBB, if applicable, Nextdoor where applicable, etc. We find reviews, and that's a big push of our marketing company is to get a volume of reviews. So some of our practices have 300, 600, 900, 1200, 1600, 2300 reviews. We're going in and we're copying the reviews.
Okay.
We're expanding them and copying them, because sometimes it says more and you got to expand it.
Sure.
We take the reviews, we paste them into AI, and then from that we extract buttons and we do a survey.
Okay.
What do people like about this practice?
I see.
So I have an example. One of our clients that use this, and they got a very successful number of reviews, and so I did an analysis on this, and I said, okay, good. What are the reviews, and what do people say, and what are the buttons, and these sort of things, and we're now using that. We extract that, and we go, oh, interesting. There's these things that people like about this practice.
Okay.
And that's coming from the consumer. We're always trying to look at what does a consumer think about dentistry? What does a consumer think about our practice? And you've got to think like a consumer
Right.
in order to communicate to the consumer. So that reality, that awareness of a consumer and how they think of dentistry, what they like, what they don't like. And this was just phenomenal, what we were able to put together in this and find out what we call buttons.
Like the things people mention the most.
Yep.
Good.
So then we take that and we go, okay, good. What are the top most important things that people say? Okay, so for this particular practice, 45% of the patients say friendly and professional staff.
Okay.
38% say clean and modern facility. 32% say painless procedure. Now, practice can't say painless,
Right.
but we can now extract those reviews, caption those reviews in social media and such, and actually now make a series of promotion and marketing campaigns around patient testimonials and reviews.
Right.
And use that and things. The consumers, they don't want to hear what the practice thinks about the practice. They want to hear what the patients think about it.
Right.
So this is amazing. To go through, and this particular practice is over 900 reviews. To go through that many reviews and extract,
You're with a human.
hours and hours of work. I did this today in 15 minutes.
Wow. Wow. And I think that's like, as far as that's an immediate use case everybody can apply is analyzing data. Because, yeah, that would have taken for somebody to read 900 reviews and collate and you'd have human error in that regard. Did they say friendly and professional staff? Did they say happy staff? You'd have it miswritten. I've seen these survey tabulations sometimes and they're a nightmare.
That's right.
But, wow, okay.
A lot of data,
Yeah.
a lot of data to go through, very time intensive. And now I can take that and I can turn around and say, AI, I would like to build some campaigns around each of these buttons.
Okay.
I would like social media text. I would like this and this and that. And this is my area. And this is the service I want to promote. And it will pump out 20 social media posts. It will actually create imagery if I feed it our logo and stuff. So a lot of people find that they don't have time to do social media posts. And how do I make it applicable? And how do I make it communicate? Well, now you've just heard what's most important to your patient base.
Right.
You want more patients like those. And now I can turn this around and create a campaign. In about 45 minutes to an hour, I can have all the month's social media content.
Wow. And that would have taken days in the past.
And horrible. Who has time to sit down and
Right.
click around in some online Canva type, create social media posts? I don't like doing that.
Right.
I'm not a creative by nature, but I can look at something that looks great from a creative and look at something that looks really kind of janky. And this will pump out some pretty nice stuff.
Okay, cool. So we've got data compilation. We have the AI receptionist. Any other things that you see out there right now that you can use, that are being used or being promoted that can be used on an AI basis? Again, not the diagnostic stuff for practice management or marketing.
Yep. I use AI to do competitive study analysis
Okay.
of neighboring practices. Now, everybody should do this. They should log into ChatGPT and Gemini and say, what are some of the great dental practices in this area?
Would they use like their zip code or their city?
It could be either. Some cities are too big, so
Yeah.
you want to kind of narrow it down. What's colloquially known as your area,
Right.
if you're in a very large area. But you could use city, you could use zip code, and you want to find out what AI thinks about top practices, and you want to note those practices down, and then you want to ask AI, why are you recommending these? And then you can, at the end of it, say, why aren't you recommending my practice? What am I missing?
Wow.
And what do these practices have that I don't? Which, if I put in for my practice, ABC Family Dentistry, we could start to be regarded by you more highly. Please walk me through that and watch the instructions come through.
Interesting, because when this first all started, right? That wasn't English. When this all first started, a few years ago, like with the deploying of Chat, Grok, Gemini, whatever, I remember thinking I'm still going to use Google for my basic search, and I still do, because generally it didn't seem like AI was as plugged into like local search. Google is still kind of the king in that regard. But my wife, see my daughter, other people that I know are using like OpenAI, ChatGPT. Hey, what are the good restaurants in this area? As opposed to just going to Google or TripAdvisor or, Michelin or whatever site you can go to. They're using OpenAI for it.
I think it's so much conversational in comparison, so much more conversational than, the Google where you get your, 10 results and
Right.
you still have to go through it. Now you can have AI go through it. Now, between you and I, your wife's highly intelligent, you're highly intelligent, your daughter's highly intelligent, and progressive, right? You're up to, there's still a vast number of people. So this is what I want to say to everybody right now. Don't run out and stop all of your traditional marketing and think that you're missing tons of opportunity because you haven't done these steps. 4% of the market, unfortunately, is that progressive and thinking like that.
Well, and also, where is ChatGPT or even Gemini is owned by Google?
Right.
Where are they getting their data?
Right, from
Google.
Yeah,
It
is. And Chat will openly say that. Grok will openly say
Right.
that.
They're going to, because Google has amassed the largest database of local business information and all the reviews. That's still the big review king. So Google is the backbone.
Yeah.
It's just we're using another interface to kind of talk about what's already on Google.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at this, you want to, if you can, and this is what we do as part of our, if you're a premium SEO client with Bloomberg Digital, we have what's called an SEO bolt-on for AI.
Okay.
And that's like the supercharger on top of traditional SEO, where we're doing exactly this. We're finding out what AI thinks about your
I
practice, and then we're kind of placating AI because they're not yet, lifting the hood and telling us what to do to rank well and stuff like that. So we have to reverse engineer it like that until they give us a best practices sheet.
Are you kind of finding, as you're doing this, are you finding a positive path forward? Like, yeah, okay, if we do this, it seems to rank better with an AI platform.
100% until they change it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because what's happening out there is Gemini is, Google isn't going to sit down while Chat takes all this market share.
Right.
So I think we're all in store for some big surprises from Google. So what we saw Chat being the industry leader, then Gemini came in hard from Google's perspective. Then Chat made big changes, dropped certain programs.
Right.
And that works for us as consumers because all these guys are working.
Yeah, they're working to get better, so we want to buy their stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So if I'm a general dentist, right? I'm not really using anything. Maybe I use ChatGPT to help me write policies or something like this, right? But I'm not really doing anything beyond this. What AI tools would you say are ready to be used right now? Like, okay, I can do this AI reception thing. I can use it potentially for reactivation in the future.
Yep.
So I don't have to go out and hire 5 people to call my whole patient base.
Yep.
I can use it to determine, what do I need to do to make my practice more appealing. And I can use it to compile marketing data, or I can have you guys do that.
Yep.
Is there any other things you would have me leverage that's really usable now using AI?
So I like this, and we're building something like this right now. Notebook LM, I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
Notebook LM is a Google tool where you can drag documents, conversations, YouTube videos, not even drag, you just literally put the link, and you create a mind, so to speak, like a sub-mind. I've got it open here, which I can just show you and I can explain to everybody else. But Notebook LM is taking a series of documents or a series of recordings or a series of policies, and out of that, you're grouping that as a database and then asking and querying on that sole root material, if that makes sense. Does that make
So
sense?
it's kind of like a personally searchable database.
That's right.
So I could take all of the MGE blog, all of the MGE YouTube videos, and create a searchable database where I could ask a question and it would give me a question. This is what's interesting, not to whatever, because this is still nascent in my end. We're doing that with everything from me and Sabri. So we have an interactive AI agent where someone can say, here's my practice, here's what's going on. And then it spits out, well, here are your problems. Your top problems are 1, 2, 3. This is what you should be working on right now.
Exactly.
So the key is the validity of the data, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not one big problem with AI is hallucination. I know you know what that is, but for the listeners out there, is that AI will grab and invent data to placate the user.
Yeah, that's like that lawyer who cited all these cases that didn't exist using ChatGPT.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. When I was using AI to help co-create our AI receptionist page, it spit out 15 testimonials.
That's not scary at all.
That's not scary at all.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, that with Meta, with Facebook, they now have it where their AI platform, they haven't deployed this yet, can take someone who's passed away and continue to post, answer posts, react, and share posts on that person's Facebook page.
Scary.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Scary.
Yeah.
So what we did is, with one of our clients, we found out some of the most successful implant lead calls. So
Okay.
that's the first call that came in. And then we took their initial virtual consultation, where we do virtual consultation for an implant lead that came in on a HIPAA compliant platform. And we took 10 successful first phone calls and 10 successful closes, meaning the initial virtual consult that then resulted in the patient coming in and closing.
So you took 10, so you had the transcripts of all of these.
We took the
Or you can just use audio.
we just used the audio.
Okay.
And we just dumped it all in there, and then we created reverse engineered training manual scripts
Wow.
and prompts, so that when it comes to, what about this or what about that, it's only grabbing that data. It's not hallucinating. It's not inventing data or grabbing data from a non-authorized source, which is what AI does.
Right.
You want it to be like this. Like if I'm running a practice, I want it MGE brand. I want it DDS Success brand. I don't want it to do what other practices have done.
So if I understand this correctly, you're taking all this data, you had 10 implant calls where the initial receptionist got them into a consult, 10 successful consults. You take the audio from this, you drop it into this platform using Notebook LM. And then, now one question I should ask you.
Yeah.
Does Google have access to my stuff to reproduce and use it at that point, or is it kind of firewalled off for myself?
So It says that it's
Okay.
firewalled off. So it's, but I'm here to tell you that I trust nobody and nothing.
Okay, good. We agree on that point.
Yeah.
But there's certain people I trust and certain ones I don't. But I agree with you on this.
I wouldn't trust anything. Like, I'm going to just circle back to this big surge of people running out and signing up for OpenClaw, this agent creator, which I have. I have it set up on a server in Amazon with no access. People are plugging in their iMessage, their Gmail, their bank data, their Chrome data, full access to everything. And what's great is, hey, listen, when I wake up in the morning, please have all my emails, proposed answers based off all my history.
Right.
Please give me a summary of all my bank balances. Please tell me of my meetings. It's beautiful. It's amazing. But you've just given something access to everything, which means tomorrow morning you could have nothing in your accounts. All of your emails have been answered by some ghost, and it's destroyed your life.
Okay.
So
I probably shouldn't be laughing about that. but
well,
yeah.
we laugh out of like, oh my gosh, is that
Yeah.
true? And that is right now where
I wouldn't add any sensitive data. But so you're saying in this case, I'm dropping basically transcripts. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
So now it produces some workflows and some policies for me. This is how you answer the phones. This is how you do this. Then I can ask it a question, like if I'm a trainee or I'm someone taking these calls, I can go, hey, what do you do when a patient says blah? And it'll give me an answer based on that training.
that's right.
That's awesome.
And it'll also produce quizzes, flashcards,
Oh, that's awesome.
diagrams.
Yeah, that's where I've used it very heavily for that type of a thing. Like not Notebook LM, but various platforms to create. Like I'll have a policy and then I go give me 5 drills based off this policy. But the key is in the prompt. It's
That's
what you ask it to do. If what you ask it to do is weak or it has holes in it, you're not going to get good response.
And you have been working on what we call prompt engineering. You've been learning how to prompt. How long have you been learning?
Since this all started.
Right.
So 3 years.
3 years. So for the person who doesn't know how to prompt, Notebook LM is a nice solution
Got it.
for that. That said, that is an AI agent. It is going to create a quiz. It's going to create flashcards. It's going to create nice diagrams. And some of them might be okay and some of them might not be.
But I mean, then again, that's fine. I get it. I edit it. I don't like that quiz question. Let's change it to this. That's
right.
inapplicable. I think it misunderstood this. Let's fix that. That's fine.
Gives you a first step.
Well, it gets rid of 90% of my work.
Right.
I mean, that's why you've done videos on this. I've done videos on this. I've done episodes on this. And you mentioned AI, and I'm probably going to get when I mentioned AI in the first AI episode I did, I ended up with the most engagement I ever had, but it was trolly as all get out. It was like, AI is going to take all the jobs, and AI is this. And I'm like, no, that wasn't what I was talking about.
Yeah.
All I was talking about, like even your thing, this reception thing isn't meant to take the jobs. It's answering calls 24/7.
And imagine if you can have that amazing high-end team member who's a receptionist currently, and now he or she is doing follow-ups on consults, follow-ups on, making calls for you, doctor.
Right.
This is enabling us to take resources we have that are otherwise overloaded.
Well, what's the alternative right now? We get slammed. It's lunchtime. We just put the phones to voicemail.
Right.
I lose 5 new patient calls.
That's right.
Now at least they get answered.
Right.
I mean, I think that outcome is a heck of a lot better. You
Well,
know?
out of the 20 different practices that we piloted on this, 20 have retained the service. And
I believe it.
Said, I would never live without this.
Well, I believe it. It makes sense because the alternative is either an answering service who's just going to say they're closed.
Right.
Maybe they won't do it rudely, but on the average, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And do you want me to call? Is it an emergency?
Yeah.
Okay. Or I'm going to get a voicemail.
Right.
In which case, I just blew that opportunity with a new patient call.
Right.
Unless it's a patient who really is already a patient by practice, they might leave a voicemail.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the episode. The episode I did was how to use AI to write policy for your practice. Because usually most people say, I don't have time to do manuals, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. And I give them a little instruction with some prompts of like, okay, here's what you do. Do a recording of what your financial policy is. I want to be, the patient can prepay and save 5%. They can put half down, half later, whatever that might be.
Sure.
And then take that transcript and drop it in I gave them the prompt to use to write the policy, and then it creates a policy you can give to your team.
Right.
That was all it was. That was the initial leverage point for people listening. And of course, people thought it was like, I'm trying to get AI to take the jobs. No, I was trying to actually improve the people that were there. No listeners commented on it. It's just general public.
Sure.
Like trolls, right?
But now take a look at what you just said there. Now a person can literally while they're driving to work, or while they're training a new staff member, just hit record.
Yeah.
And then drag that recording off their phone into Google Drive or whatever. Just create an audio recording.
You've described what I've done numerous times. Right?
Okay.
I just record a transcript, or I
Yep.
use something like Plot or whatever. I
Yep.
get my transcript. And that was always the trick initially, was most of the software's transcription capability was terrible. That seems to be fixed across the boards.
Yep.
Drop the transcript in, tell the AI what I want it to do, turn this into a policy, give me 3 exercises and this attachment based on this.
Yep.
And then boom, I've used it to write manuals, I've done all kinds of stuff with it. And that was the first use case I was promoting for people to use. And if they're not doing that, they should be.
Yep.
Because that's absolutely, if you don't have a manual, you have no excuse not to have a manual
That's
now.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a person is absolutely doing training. They're doing it verbally.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person that they verbally trained either got promoted. Now you got to do it again for the new incumbent.
Right, and or someone quits that
they
was really
quit.
valuable, or they had a family emergency and had to
Sure.
leave suddenly for 6 months, you know?
So the next time you do that, what you're going to do, you're going to do it. You're going to verbally train another person or put them on. Just start recording.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. You can record video, audio, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, so that right now are the main things as far as practice management and marketing.
Yep.
Okay, so now, what do you see coming in the next, and I know, look, this is just sort of like a spitballing here, the next year, 2 years, 5 years, not globally how robots are going to be everywhere, but how do you see this affecting dental practices over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Like, what do you see coming?
So I think agentive AI is the big deal. And I'm just
AI agents.
AI agents because, okay, so the guy that created that one I told you about, OpenClaw,
Yeah.
he was just headhunted by all the top three AI companies.
Okay.
And he just signed $1 billion sign-on bonus.
Okay.
Each of them gave him.
It's even better than like LeBron's.
It's unbelievable. It's revolutionary. I mean, it's
Yeah.
unheard of. Like, it's
Yeah.
made the news.
Yeah.
What does that mean? He created this thing. It cost him $20,000 a month, and he spent months creating it. And he released it, and it was open source.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got him a job with a billion. I don't know if I said million.
You said $1 billion.
Oh yeah, okay, good. $1 billion sign-on bonus. So that tells you where AI agents, the number of people who've been using AI agents, again, just like I said, which is a scary thought, I give it access to everything. But now imagine having an AI agent. These are the recordings I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to create a series of manuals,
Mm-hmm.
quizzes, training routes and paths for all new staff for each of these positions. I would like it organized in this fashion. I would like you to set up a training program for all of my new staff. I'd like you to create a logging system where they can report that. Any questions they have, I'd like you to ask their questions. I'd like you to send me their questions and do that as a daily report so I can see a summary of all my staff. I'd like you to check in with my staff.
Mm-hmm.
What was great about today? What could have been better about today? I'd like you to propose new policy.
Wow.
That's agentic AI.
Okay, so the OpenClaw basically made it easy to create an agent.
A series of agents around you having a focus or a world or an environment
Right.
that just takes and handles everything as your personal
The
assistant.
reason I bring it, because I've created agents on OpenAI,
Yes.
which does take a little bit more thinking and
That's
doing. This just sounds like an easy interface.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, got it.
So that's where things are going.
Okay.
And Elon Musk just closed down production of Tesla Model X and S.
Mm-hmm.
And he's using those factories to create robots,
Okay.
which all use AI agents. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I know this sounds a bit like 2000.
No, we have a
it's
combo.
good
It's more Blade Runner, iRobot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Terminator.
yeah, it is going there.
Mm-hmm.
It is going there. And when you think about this, is going to be a person who can be with your elderly parent or grandparent and service your elderly parent or grandparent, because caregivers are known to be abusive, neglectful, and expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be at a fraction of the cost and do it 100 times better, and immediately alert the hospital or the doctor or you, the kids or
Right.
grandkids. This is where it's going. Again, not to replace us or to attack us, hopefully, but to facilitate us so we can take our attention and put it on the things and use our talent where it could be used best. So that's a very broad answer to your short question.
Well, I mean, I guess if to riff on what you're saying, if I were to guess just based on what you're saying, most likely where you'd see robotics step in initially would be not necessarily things that require fine motor skills. So if I load ships for a living, you could probably get robots to do that,
Yeah.
right? Because you're not going to hurt a human. You're going to break a package.
Right.
They might sweep streets. They might, things like that, pick up trash, things of that nature.
That's right.
Gross, maybe even help with oil. There are AI robotic oil drilling rigs now, but you'll see it in that regard. The caring for an elderly person, administering some form of care, child care, or being around people, that's a whole other thing, because all it takes is for one of those things to screw up and hurt somebody.
Right.
Now it's like,
Which you know is going to happen.
well, right. So if you can kind of work that around
Right.
to where they possess fine motor skills,
Yeah.
and can do that without, because it's a machine, so it could hurt something, break something, or whatever. If you get it to the point where it doesn't, yeah.
Well, I'm going to take what you just said, and that's why I did the whole bigger thing with the robotics.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that sort. So, what should we focus on today?
Mm-hmm.
We should focus on the things that are the menial, the thing that you have to do over and over again. If it doesn't get done,
Mm-hmm.
it really causes problems. But it doesn't take a lot of skill, and variation of it is frustrating. But boy, if you could eliminate variation and the repetitive nature of it, what is that? Answer that for yourself.
Right.
What in your life? It doesn't really require all of your intelligence and your attention, but boy, if it doesn't get done, it's really irritating.
Sure.
And those are the kind of things that you should start making a list of right now, and then looking into AI and taking the easiest on that list, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and start going, okay, good, I'm going to take some of these functions off my plate, or off my office manager's plate, or off my, this person's or that person's new patient coordinator's plate or insurance coordinator's plate, and seeing if I can get by that person's talent and time and attention so that the menial is under control.
Yeah, because I find, especially like just being aware of what goes on in a dental practice, if someone's managing correctly, one of the immediate menial tasks are usually data analysis. So analyze the AR. Because usually software is only going to do it based on whatever queries I can use, right? And not every software is the same.
Yeah.
EagleSoft. Anyway, so I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
But actually, I should probably not say that, but I'm going to. It's my least favorite dental software.
Yeah.
But so then, some don't have queries. You can use this, that, the other. If there was some way to use AI to analyze that type of information so that if I'm trying to sort out my accounts receivable, I could go, okay, well, where are my problems? Something could look at it. That takes 30 seconds, then gives it back to me with these are the people I should contact immediately.
Yeah.
That saves me hours.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the type of stuff and that's the thing that I enjoy about it is it's, you can really save a lot of time if you use this stuff.
And I think if people just went, okay, good, now I get a concept of what would be potentially advantageous to me, even if I don't like AI, I'm not
Sure.
good with computers, but make that list, and then with this whole new industry of agentive AI coming, there are going to be agentive AI specialists, and they will come in and build that for you.
Okay.
So you don't need to figure it all out, but you need to know what it is you do and what you want and what could be alleviated. So it'd be a good list to make right now.
Like repetitive menial tasks.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, not taking out the trash, but repetitive menial administrative tasks for
That's
now,
right.
because we're not at the robot stage yet.
That's right.
Although I don't know if you've seen this, and I forget the URL, the website rather, where now there's like the AI can rent people, AI agents.
Yeah,
so
it's
there's
real.
a website where people just enlist themselves. It's like you put your name in there, and then an AI agent will contact you, and you put your rate and what you specialize in, what you're good at. An AI agent will contact you and have you go do something.
Hire you, yeah. So they had
Yeah.
one that was like, want you to go try 10 different spaghetti sauces. And on this exact pasta, go buy the pasta, go cook it. Here's the instructions on how to cook it.
And the agent came up with this.
Agent came up with this,
Right.
found the person, hired the person, did the transfer.
Uh-huh.
And obviously it was authored by, some company to do this, but it was the AI agent who did all the work, hired I don't know how many people to do the same thing,
Uh-huh.
and then tabulated the results to figure out what aspects of which spaghetti sauce and which spaghetti was the best. Reported that back to
See, us humans still have use. We can taste
we do.
spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, we can take orders. Yeah. But it's kind of like it's Uber hands, kind of.
Yeah.
Uber mouth.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, so that's where we're going. And then what do you think is just sort of hype? Like, because there's, anytime you put something into the media, you get murder hornets and the whole nine, right?
That's right.
What in your view is sort of hype and just not very real?
Okay, I would stay away from anything that says all of your marketing can be handled by AI now.
That I agree with.
That's being promoted. We know it because we see it, and we've even tried it. We've done some dummy trials of some of these things, and it's not just like not good and a bit nasty. It's actually dangerous. Like it's actually promoting things that practices shouldn't promote. It could
Things that violate the Dental Practice Act of their state.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, and promoting services the practice doesn't even offer.
Okay.
We're just not there yet. We're just not there, and I think it's good to think with going there, but these companies should not be promoting that yet.
Got it. We're not at the point where AI can go start to finish without a human interaction on creating marketing.
No.
Got it. Okay, good. Any? I know we're sticking specifically with dentistry, but is there any other things that you think are just sort of hype with relation to all this?
I like the note taking, and but I would caution any practice to really challenge the HIPAA compliancy, because HIPAA compliancy needs to be not just the platform that is hosting the AI agent, but the AI agent is sourcing data from some AI provider, such as Gemini,
Sure.
OpenAI, and stuff. And so I get a little bit, I've seen where companies say we are HIPAA compliant, but where they're accessing AI from is not, and it is passing information through to it to get summaries and notes back
As
from
opposed
it,
to having their own version.
as opposed to having their own, which is very expensive,
Right.
to have your own AI in-house and stuff. So I would just be very thorough in, checking into some of these things. In healthcare industry, you need to think with that stuff. In other industries, not so. Spaghetti, you don't need to worry about that one.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we covered a lot of stuff, which I really love, right? Very, very excited about where this is going, right? And remember, we all love AI. Love AI.
We love
There
AI.
you go. So if I'm an owner, doctor, or office manager listening now, let's say we're not doing anything with AI, where would you recommend that I start?
I would definitely do an AI after-hours receptionist. You'll pick up 2 patients a month, 2 new patients that you haven't. Do that, put it in place, get your team grouped in on it. You might hear some blowback. I don't like talking to AI.
Sure.
Yeah, 1 out of 100 patients might say that.
Well, it's going to be after hours, so.
But it's after hours as opposed to voicemail. The same person probably hates voicemail.
Right.
Start working with that. I would, if you're looking at doing ads, that's a great time to advertise at 1/3 or 1/4 the cost.
Right.
See what you pick up from that. Then start moving into the next realm of that, which is you learning AI to analyze where you sit with AI. I would start playing around in Gemini, in Grok, in chat. What do what's the best dental practice around here for dental implants? Say I want more dental implants, or
Sure.
for Invisalign, or clear aligner therapy.
Whatever the guy's marketing.
Whatever the guy's looking for, as there are certain services and such. And why do you recommend that? And what do they have that my practice, I'm going to let you know now, my practice is ABC Family Dentistry. What am I missing? And use that as a bit of a short list. Get that to your marketing company. See if they can start to scratch that itch for AI. If they can't, find another company. Don't abandon your existing marketing that's working, but find a company that might be able to help you with that. Or start doing those things. Well, hey, this practice over here has 7 testimonials on their website, and you don't have any. Well, there's a little bit of a battle plan that you can put in place for your practice.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Well, awesome. Dan, thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. I'm going to put your link to Bloomberg Digital so people can find out more. Do you have a special page you want them to go to if you want them to find out more about that?
Bloomberg Digital is the
main website.
Yeah.
We'll put your email address up there as well
Yep.
if people want to contact you. And if you want to see Dan more, Dan is one of our main speakers at the MGE New Patient Workshop. You can obviously see he knows his stuff when it comes to marketing, so I'll put a link to that on the episode webpage as well. So folks, again, Dan, thanks for being here.
pleasure.
And there you have it, folks. We do hope this helps to sort through the hype and see what you can use now to improve things in your practice. If you want to find out more about MGE, you can call us at 800-640-1140 or find us online at mgeonline.com. Have a great week, and we'll see you at the next episode.